Welcome to the Easton School Committee meeting of Wednesday, March 16th, 2022. In keeping with an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, as amended by Governor Baker on February 12, 2022, this meeting will be conducted remotely over Zoom. Attendance by board and committee members will be remote, and remote attendance shall count toward quorum. The meeting will be recorded on ECAT and broadcast live. Okay, so next item on the agenda.
Recording in progress.
Okay, great. Is a vote to approve an out-of-state travel for Deca. So, Mrs. Pruitt, do you want to introduce?
Sure. Thank you. Our department chair for Family Consumer Science and Business and Industrial Arts, Sue Sweeney, is here to talk about the out-of-state travel for Deca. This is an unanticipated item that we found out about within 48 hours of the posting of the agenda. So we are very excited that our students competed on, Sue can share more information, but our students competed on Saturday, and 7 of our students, we found out over the weekend, made it to the international competition in Atlanta. So why don't I turn it over to Sue? This will require a vote for approval for out of state. Sue?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks for allowing me to join you today. As Chrissy mentioned, I took 18 students to the Massachusetts Deca State Development Conference. These were students that had qualified to attend the state conference after their successful participation at the district conference. So 19 of the students qualified from districts and opted to go on to states, and of the 19 that I took to states, as Chrissy mentioned, 7 students qualified to compete at the International Career Development Conference, which is being held this year in Atlanta, Georgia. We have attended this conference numerous times before, but there hasn't been one for the last 2 years because of the pandemic. And in September, when I would typically just put in a blanket request for out-of-state field trip approval, we did not know if the conference would take place, so there was nothing to ask for approval. In addition, I wasn't sure we would qualify this year, truthfully, as for the last 2 years, our numbers have been down, and a lot of the kids have chosen not to participate because it was just a virtual option, which took away sort of the perks of doing all the work, which is the ability to go to the conferences. So the conference runs from Saturday, April 23rd, which is the Saturday at the end of April vacation, till Wednesday, April 27th.
If I can just add, one of the reasons why we had to add it to this school committee agenda, we're actually rather pleased that this meeting was actually going to happen, is because the turnaround rate is very quick. So Sue needs to submit everything by Thursday, by tomorrow. Right. So it was very convenient for this that we had a school committee meeting already scheduled.
Right. Thanks for mentioning that, Chrissy. Yes, the deadline to register for the conference is tomorrow. So not a whole lot of time. We were one of the last states to hold our state conference. So that's part of the reason for the short deadline. Can I answer any questions about the conference or anything?
You're on mute, Caroline.
Oh, just about what is the main takeaway for the students, would you say? I know that's a kind of broad question, but if you could answer that would be great.
I think the biggest takeaway is presentation skills and preparation, thinking under pressure. They compete in 2 different, well, there's a lot of different ways they compete, but our students either compete by presenting a paper that they've written in an oral presentation in front of a judge, or they do a role play in which they get the scenario in a particular topic and they practice them, but they don't see the scenario until the morning of the competition, and they have 10 minutes to prepare a presentation and sit in front of the judge. So besides the great networking and exposure and meeting people from other other parts of the country and world, they sit in front of a professional in an industry and prepare something that sort of simulates what they might have to do in a future career. So I would say those are the presentation skills, thinking on their feet, really adapting quickly to being able to answer questions and in a different environment are some of the important takeaways.
Preparing them for defending their thesis when they get a little older.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that actually, I wish I had had something like that when I was in high school. Just one other question. How is it being funded?
So the students, Leisha informed me that school committee graciously is covering the registration fee.
The school
for the
district
students.
is, yes.
The school district, sorry. The school district is covering the registration fee for myself and the 7 students, which is greatly appreciated. The students pay for the rest. We have some money in our student activity account because we operate as a club that will hopefully cover most of my expenses. That's just from fundraising over the years, and if it doesn't fully, that cost is spread among the 7 students. So meals are not included in the conference. I have a parent meeting tonight, assuming that the trip is approved, and the parents will be arranging the flights for each of the students, and then we do everything else through Deca. They have secured hotels, and everything is run through them, but the students essentially fund everything else themselves. It's expensive.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. And Deca, I always say to everybody that it's a great organization, and I'm proud of our kids, and I'm thrilled that they can do it, but it's very expensive to do it. And I always feel bad as a parent of 4 kids that asking somebody to come up with $1,000 to send their students somewhere. But we just don't have the opportunity to raise that kind of money in such a short amount of time, especially over the last 2 years where we haven't been able to do anything.
I'm wondering if in the future we could approach maybe the Chamber of Commerce or something like that for some sort of contribution, because that would seem relevant. I mean, I'm sure they would be very interested in giving students opportunities like this.
They have made small donations before. The problem is it's just, even with 7 students, we're talking about $7,000. It's always
Right.
just a lot of money. So,
Right.
but they have supported us before.
Thank you.
And we've gone the sponsorship route before. It's just we haven't been able to do it the last couple of years.
And there hasn't been time right now. So.
No, there hasn't been time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anybody else have any other questions or comments for Ms. Sweeney? No? Okay, so can I get a motion to approve the out-of-state travel for Deca?
O'Neill, so moved.
And can I get a second?
DeLuca, second.
Roll call vote.
O'Neill, yes.
Oh, DeLuca, yes. I was waiting for Michelle.
Right. Star, yes. Okay, great. Thank you for getting this together so quickly so that we could get this voted on, and you can communicate out to the parents and students. And good luck
Thank you.
with travel.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you for doing this.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's very
Bye-bye.
exciting. Okay. All right, and then so the next item on the agenda is a vote on a correction to the school calendar. Ms. Pruitt?
Sure. So I want to apologize to the committee in advance. So when this calendar was first constructed, there were 180 days accounted for. However, the professional development days were not in the were not embedded in the calendar at first. Those were corrected. Actually, Jackie Wiseman was able to catch that for us and was able to call me and tell me that it was 178 days after in between readings, not 180. We did correct it on the calendar for your second reading and vote. However, the wrong draft was dropped into your folder. So I do apologize for that. So the actual calendar that you voted on was in fact the old calendar that was not corrected. This is the corrected one. This is not the one that says the old draft. This one has the start date of August 30th for staff, August 31st for students, with the last day of school on June 13th and June 21st with snow days, with 5 snow days. So I apologize for that that error, and thank you, Jackie, for catching that.
Any questions or comments? All righty. So can I get a motion to accept the revised 2022-2023 school calendar?
Wiseman, so moved.
And can I get a second? Caroline, you're on mute if you were.
DeLuca,
Right.
second.
Okay. All right, great. So roll call vote.
O'Neill, yes.
DeLuca, yes.
Wiseman, yes.
Star, yes. Okay, great. And that is the last item on the agenda before we adjourn. So I make a motion to adjourn. Can I get a second?
Second, O'Neill.
Oh, and roll call vote.
O'Neill, yes.
DeLuca, yes.
Wiseman, yes.
Star, yes. All right, great.
Thank you so much, everyone.
everybody. Have a good
Bye.
rest of the day.
Bye-bye.